Today on the channel we are talking Coleman 17B RV renovations. We are going to take our RV dinette set that you see here from this to this. Best part is, guys, all free or low cost. We're going to reuse the materials that we have here. Make sure you stick around. We'll show you how it's done. Let me explain to you what I'm kind of thinking here. A few reasons that we're going to do this. Number one, we really don't use this dinette set at all. Maybe a handful of times, but if you look back here where I'm standing kind of in the back of the camper, look how much room this thing is taking up. My thinking is if we can get rid of the table here, which is already on legs and folds down, so we could use that outside, and maybe take this bench and just over to here. Are you with me? We'll kind of have ourselves an L-shaped pattern here is the hope, and then maybe open up some of this floor plan. Another reason that we're doing this is underneath this bed, as you guys can see, is a great big storage thing that runs all the way across, but we're kind of limited access with this thing here. A couple weeks ago, Wendy and I went to an RV show. There's a link for it for you guys to check it out, but we looked at some of these other Coleman campers. It's the 17R, and we're kind of blown away by some of the room that they had inside theirs. So if you're not familiar, the 17Bs are the bunks, the 17Rs are the rear, bigger bathroom with the storage. We're not really ready to give up the bunks yet. We do use those as storage or when somebody's coming over. What you will notice if you've looked at both of them is both of these are completely opposite. So the kitchen and everything would be set up on this side of the wall in a 17R, and obviously over here in the 17B we're on that side. But just the floor space alone that they have in that camper compared to this one is significantly bigger. So Wendy came up with this idea of, you know, maybe either I saw a video where somebody made a bench right here, they've taken this out all the way and put a futon in or something like that. I didn't really want to go that route. I don't want to give up the storage that's underneath these things. We definitely need this. It's a smaller camper. If you guys are in a smaller camper, you're familiar on why you need as much storage as possible. So, and I don't think this is going to be very difficult at all. I already have kind of taken a look here to see how this bench is attached, and there's not much to the way that these things are built. One thing we will have to deal with is cushions and how they fit on there. But I'm sure Wendy will come up with a solution for that. So first thing we're going to have to do, though, obviously, is get this table out of here. I got some stuff in these benches that I got to clear out. Pretty sure there's not too much in here. Well, got a tent. Don't ever use it, but we got one. And I think we got some bocce ball. So as you can see, there's not too many. There's a few right down here on the floor. We're going to try to keep this whole cabinet as much intact as we can. It's just cheaply stapled together, as you can see. We might have to add some reinforcements. I mean, that's not even connected, so that's a great example of their craftsmanship. I'm not sure if you guys can see the heads on these screws here or not. You could use a Phillips head, but I would definitely recommend getting one of these square bits, though. You know, it's going to save you tons of frustration. Most likely these Phillip heads would just strip out if you tried to use one of those. We'll start with taking them right out of the floor here. Hopefully you guys can see what's going on here. Just popping these screws out one by one. Just the areas that I know are going to be like attached to the wall. Again, we'll probably leave this piece for now because it's not... I'm going to have to figure something out with that. I'm not sure what the guy needed glasses or something when he was cutting that. I'm not sure. But we'll go around, we'll get the rest of these out, and then show you how we're going to swing this whole thing around. Now that we got the screws out of the floor, you can see that this thing is ready to just kind of pull away like that. Like I said, that piece back there, it's a little wonky. We're going to have to figure something out with that. They cut it weird at the factory and doesn't fit, but we'll address that shortly. Now what we need to do is think about turning this cabinet over to here. There are a couple things that you guys might face if you have one of these campers. Depending on the model year, they put your breaker box and stuff like that either right here on this part of that bench, but ours
is already conveniently right here down by the bunks. We have seen a bunch of videos out there in YouTube land. I wish I could think of the creators' names or whatever that have moved these back to that back bunk area. However, we are going to have to probably remove this bump stop here. This is what you would rest your table on if you were transforming this into a bed. Let me get these cushions out of the way here now and see what we got down in this one. I'll probably have to pause you guys and get this thing all cleaned out as well. So that wasn't too bad, just some pots and pans in there. But look at this, this one's not attached either. I don't know. I guess I've never really noticed that before. You'd think that they'd frame this whole thing out. So we're also going to address that issue before we go ahead and connect this one. There is some cheap light framing in there. I think what we're going to have to do is there's enough to screw in down here on this far one. We'll have enough bite there, but we're going to have to put some sort of 2x4 or a cross brace or something in here just so this has a little bit more bite. And again, this is the same bit, I believe. Hard to see. Yeah, same thing.
You can kind of start to see the shape of what we're dealing with here, and if you go this way, you're going to be able to see how much more space that's going to actually open up. What we're going to do now is just go ahead and zip a couple, 1, 2 maybe screws into this to kind of hold everything tight. Then we're going to go outside. I got an extra crappy 2x4. I'm going to cut a piece for in there. We got to figure out how we can get this piece back attached onto here so we have a support for the bench here as well. Let me go ahead and zip a couple screws into here. We'll go outside and get the 2x4 cut, and then we'll put everything together tight. That'll hold that side. Then we'll pop one into the floor over here where we know this piece has to be. There. Get a rough guess here. Looks like right about 11.5 or so we need a piece. Let's go outside to my makeshift sawhorses and my Fisher-Price tools here, and we'll go ahead and get this thing cut. First of all, like I said, this is a scrap piece of 2x, so let me rip this off straight. And we need 11.5 inches, folks. Perfect. Alright, we got that piece butted up in there, and that'll give this right here a nice little backing to screw to. So we're going to go ahead, get this thing all screwed in all the way around, and then we'll figure out this top piece for our bench support. So again, this is a really simple project. I mean, so far I think I'm about 20 minutes into this, with filming. So pretty much something anybody could do. I don't think you guys are going to struggle with it too bad. You're really just taking stuff out and putting it right back in. So now we need something substantial back here, kind of underneath here. I don't know if you guys can see that, so I can put this brace in. I don't trust that paneling board at all. Let's go rip another 2x4, get that cut, and get this brace attached. Boy, I'll tell you guys, it's really warming up out here. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm certainly not complaining at all. We've had a really easy go of weather for this beautiful Finger Lakes area. Really, the end of February and early March, which we're in now, really been great. So can't complain. It's about 70, almost 70 degrees out right now. 68, 69, something like that. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. It makes me wonder what we're going to be at in July. So we went ahead and got the brace screwed in on the other side here. Now we're going to put this on in order to hold this plywood all the way across. Again, this is a little bit wonky here, but we are going to do the best that we can with what we got. We're trying to keep this low cost
And I think so far, all we've had to really provide is like a little piece of 2x4. There's one there. Go ahead and space these out a little better. Alright guys, went ahead and put the plywood back on there, and once you know, look at that. Still two beautiful big storage containers, so we didn't lose anything down there. We're able to throw all our stuff back in. That's something we certainly didn't want to get rid of, was storage. So guys, look at all this floor space that we have here now. Wendy picked up a couple cheap pillows. That's optional if you want them or not. I think she picked them up from Dollar Tree, so they weren't all that expensive. But I mean, just coming in here, look at the difference that we have as far as room. And if we did need to use the table still, there is plenty of room to set it up lengthwise here, in case it was raining or something like that outside. Guys, I'm really happy with the way that this came out. We are still able to use our curtains here and shut those so we can block off the bunkhouse if we wanted to. And again, just makes tons and tons more room. Way more easy access up there for the front bed storage. We're generally interested to get your guys' opinion on this. So let us know down in the comments what you guys are thinking. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, we appreciate you guys watching. Be sure to check out our video playlist up here for many more options as far as upgrades and things you can do to these campers. And we will catch you guys next week.